So someone or yourself gave you the impression that you were fated for something or someone, and I think you agreed, you saw that light, you saw how that could be possible, and you kind of went for that or that person or whatever this is. But it's like the more you worked on it, the more it just dragged on, and it didn't become what you wanted it to become. And you're at the point where you're realizing it's not for you, but you've kind of gotten yourself stuck in some kind of loop, whether that's an actual love loop, like a karmic loop with someone, or a work situation, or whatever it is, Gemini. So the cards for your energy coming out here: Beaver in reverse with tick-tock. Okay, Beaver's an industrious worker, never stops, you know, keeps going. The minute they hear a leak in their dam, they're out and fixing it. And I feel like, Gemini, you like to work smarter, not harder. And we're in Taurus season, which might, you know, go the opposite way. Taurus likes to work hard. But I feel like you're just not seeing the fruits of your labor, whether this is in a relationship or a work situation. But what's against you, the energy is against you, is the firefly and serendipity. And this is where the conflict comes in. Because Gemini, normally you're like, fuck it. If it's not working, I'm out of here. You know, I'm not dealing with it. Because you've gone over in your mind all of the different ways you could make it work. Okay? In a lot of ways, you are like Taurus. Now, hear me out. What I mean by that is Taurus has a lot of endurance, right? They'll keep going in a relationship or in a job situation and endure, and try to push through it. And then when they're done, you know, because they've given it their all and they know that there's nothing left to give. Gemini, you kind of work in a similar fashion, because it's like you've exhausted all the possibilities in your mind. Okay, so that might happen, I don't know, in an hour, or it might happen over 10 years. Whatever the case is, like, you've explored it all. And, you know, when you can't find any new avenues to travel down, new possibilities in that relationship or in that job situation or whatever this is, then you've had enough, because there's nowhere to go. But the conflict comes from, for some reason, you still believe that you're fated towards this destiny that you're heading towards this person or this job or this lifestyle or whatever it is. There's something here, like I want to say a vision that was sold to you. We have serendipity with the firefly. It's like, hey, Gemini, you see that firefly over there? And you're like, where? I can't see it. No, just wait, you'll see it. And then you see its little light and you're like, oh yeah, it's a firefly. The person's like, yeah, that's so special. It's so serendipitous that, you know, you saw that firefly. And you're like, no, well, actually, you told me to look at it. I wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't have told me, you know, because fireflies don't have their light on at all times. So it's like someone directed you towards something, making you think it was special or very significant, which maybe it is, but I feel as though it's not that way to you. It doesn't feel that way to you. You saw potential in something and it just didn't, the light just wouldn't stay on, you know? It just kept going off. Okay, but for some reason, there's some confusion here about that path being serendipitous for you. Now, what's supporting you, Gemini, very interesting. Not for you, with the sea serpent. So this is how I'm seeing you going over and over in your mind, you know, how do I get out of this? Where did I go wrong? You know, this could be a thought pattern, you know, how do I break the thought pattern of this? Or how do I get out of this situation? Whatever it is, you know, but it's like you're going over and over in your mind, trying to get yourself out. But I think, Gemini, what you need to realize is you were never really in it. Okay, so getting out of it isn't exactly what you think, because you were never fully invested. Okay, because a part of you, your soul, knew that this was not for you. All right, let's see what comes out. General reading. I don't know what this is pertaining to, guys. It might be love, might be career. It could be a few things for a few people. But definitely you're feeling the pressure of time, of communicating something or having something communicated with you, something that you've been working on. You no longer want to work on it, but you're attached for some reason. So let's see what's going on here for Gemini. Yeah, Gemini, this is Four of Swords in the reverse with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So this is your current energy here. It's like, this is exactly the beaver, you know, energy in reverse. It's like having to do something but not being at peace with it. It's like when the beaver's in reverse, the beaver can't rest, but not because it's feeling productive or it's doing what it needs to do, but it's like this frantic, gotta fix the dam, gotta fix the dam, and it's like something's wrong with the structure, right? And what's crossing you is the Queen of Wands, because your energy in reverse, your energy needs to be directed somewhere else. Your fire is much brighter than this firefly. So let's see what happened in the past to get you here. We got a lot of cards coming out. I'm seeing Death in reverse here. We got the Eight of Swords, the Lovers, Death in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse. Oh boy. Okay, so this definitely could have to do with love. Again, I'm seeing this Lovers card as like the sea serpent, going round and round and round and round, right? How do I get out of this? How do I stop thinking about them? How do I move away from them? How do I get them to stop contacting me? Whatever it is, right, that you want to move away from. It just seems to be this endless loop that you know is not for you with the Eight of Swords, but you're carefully balancing it rather than just, you know, slamming the book on it. You're feeling like you have to navigate your way out of it in a very, like, a particular sense, you know? It's like you have to tiptoe your way out of it or find the perfect strategy or take what was useful and do something with it rather than just abandon it altogether. And that's because there's some attachment here that you feel something was meant to be. Okay, so Death in reverse with the Hierophant in reverse. You're not really willing, I mean, you've looked at this from all angles, of course you have, but you're really not willing to look at it for what it actually is. I'm getting that you're looking at it for what it's not, okay? And yeah, when you look at it for what it's not, then you see what it is, but it's not that simple, okay? Those kinds of, you know, it's just not that simple. So it's like you're looking for what it wasn't, right? So if it was a relationship, well, you know, it wasn't as deep as I thought it was, or that person didn't love me as much as I thought they did, or they didn't respect me, or whatever the case is, right? Or maybe, you know, like I loved them more than I thought, and, you know, all of this stuff. But there's something that you need to see for what it is, not what it's not. It's interesting. It's like the firefly. You need to see the firefly for what it is, a momentary flash of light, not a long, lasting light that can guide you. Okay, let's keep going and see what else happens here. There could be, on a very literal sense, a break of commitment for sure, but that's just not transforming. It just won't end, and I think this is happening mainly in the mind. There's a split energy here. You know, I'm frustrated with you because there's a real looking for an out here. From your thoughts, perhaps, but maybe also in a literal sense. I heard, why was I sold this dream? And maybe it's the why, you know, that's holding you. Okay, what did you learn from this situation? 3 of Pentacles with the 7 of Swords. There was no unity with you and this other person. There was no unity. Okay? Any attempt to work together was thwarted. I heard lacerated sun, a lacerated sun. So this is interesting. There's a lot of fire energy here. You could be dealing with a fire sign. Don't have to be, but it's like well, the image here, you can see the swords cutting through the sun, but I am seeing like this sun like bleeding out, actually, like lacerated. The light is being cut up. It's not that revelation, that beautiful light that gets things to grow, the sun. It's a lie I'm hearing. And I'm also hearing it's outdated. It was outdated. And it's not something that you can work on together. Now that phrase, lacerated sky, it comes from a song that I know, but I feel like you put a lot of time and effort into this relationship. You marched on with it for a long time, really trying to work with it, and it was like you were showing glimmers of light here and there. You were told that the connection between you and this person, I do think we're talking love, but apply it to work if that fits better, or whatever situation, familial, whatever, friendship. But I do believe you were told by someone that this was meant to be, that it's a small little light now, but it will grow. It's just going to take some time, and maybe this person was, like future faking in a way, right? So they would tell you it's going to take time, but they didn't actually put any work into it. And all along you knew it wasn't for you, and you were just circling around that thought over and over. I don't know what you could still be in it, because I don't really know what the attachment is here. Well, let's see. What's Gemini's strength? Gemini's strength here. That's too many. We just need a couple or one. I can't take like 8. We can't take 8 and 2 8s come out, okay? 8 of Cups, 8 of Wands with strength. Bam, Gemini. This is what I'm talking about, okay? This is Gemini in full effect. Fast-moving energy. I'm getting the fuck out of here because I'm strong enough not to deal with this kind of confusion. You want to try to confuse a Gemini, it's a bad idea, okay? It's a bad idea. Regardless of where your Gemini placement is, or depending on what's in your Gemini, the house that rules Gemini. But it's like you're so quickly gone, and that's your strength. But for some reason, you're not harnessing that at this time. You're being pulled back. You're hesitating. It's like you're walking down this path, but see, there's a couple boards missing on the boardwalk here, and you're still looking at that and saying, well, I don't know. What is there? Is there something I missed? And I think it's really irking you because you feel it's not only the TikTok in the sense that this, whatever this is, didn't carry out in the appropriate time, or there's been a lot of time between you two, but it's also this urgency within yourself to stop circling around this and to move forward. So in a way, you're denying your inner strength. High Priestess at the bottom, your intuition. This is a very Gemini-like image, right? It's you're denying your intuition and your natural flow of being able to figure out something quickly and complex, in a very complex way, okay? It's not a simple decision. You never make a simple decision. It's a very complex decision you make, but you do it quickly because your mind works very fast, okay? And so when you need to walk away, you're able to do that. But for some reason, and that's your strength, you know, and that has to be balanced with your other placements and what they're doing, right? But for some reason, it's just not happening the way it usually does. So let's see what's coming up in your near future. Knight of Pentacles. This is what I'm talking about. This is slow movement. Look at you, looking up into the sky, like, what did I miss? What else is there? And these little stars in the picture are reminding me of this firefly light. Like trying to see that light again in something that you once saw or someone told you to see. I really feel like someone told you to see something. And convinced you in some kind of way that it was very serendipitous, the connection or the opportunity, or, you know, there's something special about this that you just can't let go of. And you're still feeling this, but it's a struggle with your intuition on what's real. So here I still see you trying to figure things out, but you're circling, you're not getting any new thoughts. You're just circling around the same stuff over and over again. And it's like being in the past. It's actually keeping you anchored to the past in some way without having to be in it. Maybe that's something to think about. The Magician with the Three of Swords behind the Magician. I think for some of you, you're trying to figure out how you were culpable in the manifestation of your own heartbreak. You're being a little too hard on yourself. You're being too hard on yourself. That's here. Okay? Or someone has told you to be hard on yourself. It's interesting. Because before I started this reading, I heard projection, you know? And I thought, oh, okay, I better be very careful not to project I have Gemini moon. I better be very careful not to project what's going on with me in the reading. I thought that was probably why I was hearing that. But I think this is a case of somebody projecting something onto you, their dreams, their goals. Maybe this is a friend or family member or something that wanted you to pursue something that they once wanted. Or a parent who wanted that relationship for you, but it's not for you. Whatever it is, whoever projected something on you in a good way, like this would be good for you, it's not for you. And if we're talking about love, then this person might have felt something for you that was very special and somehow projected that onto you in some way, like so that you would engage in the fantasy. But there's a lack of your intuitive natural movement. Gemini is a lot about the mind, but it's also a mutable air sign. And mutable signs do something with the energy. Okay, you don't just sit there thinking about it, you do something with those thoughts. You're very active in your mind, but you're also very active externally as well. And I feel like this is really, it's contained your energy in some way. Okay. Near future is that Knight of Pentacles. Moving slowly still, trying to figure things out. Well, let's see how do you see yourself, Gemini? Ace of Swords with the Six of Cups. Trying to find the truth and clarity about the past situation, right? Trying to clear that out. And I think many of you feel like you've come to some epiphany, that you're getting closer. Knight of Wands, you might feel the energy picking up. But it's like time's running out on something as you feel it, right? Maybe it's time's running out for that other person because you're discovering the truth of the situation. But again, I really want to tell you, Gemini, and I'm getting this message from Spirit, you don't have to figure a way out of it because you were never in it. I mean, 3D, you were in it, but the psychological energy and emotional energy that you're dedicating to figuring a way out of whatever this is, out of heartbreak, out of connection, whatever, it's not, I'm hearing, it's not yours to figure out. It's not for you. I'm hearing it's not part of your depths. It's not part of your depths. It's too surface. It's too surface, I heard. Okay, so maybe that's the problem, is that it's too surface and you're trying to find more meaning in the situation than there is. It's actually right in front of you. Okay, let's see, what's the outside influence for Gemini, please? Outside influence. Oh, wow. Knight of Cups. Wow, look at this. Look at the images. You had the Ouroboros on both of them. And these are different decks. Wow. So this is what's supporting you. Your energy of containing yourself, like, well, the not for you and the sea serpent is what is supporting you. So this is your knowingness that something isn't for you and holding your energy in a little bit and not giving it outwards to a situation. And also, I'm really seeing this card as like some inner deep wisdom. But it's also like you're going around in a loop. I am also seeing that in that card. So for the outside energy, I feel like there's somebody who's mirroring you in some sense very closely. And I think the projection, there's a projection going on, and that's starting to fuck with you, Gemini, a little bit. Because it's like maybe they're mirroring aspects of yourself and you're getting confused because you're recognizing yourself in them and you like that part of yourself, but you don't like them. Like, it seems like a little bit of a mind fuck. Or someone's telling you something about yourself for your best interest, right? And it's just a projection, but now you're circling in your mind, well, how do I do this? How is it that I do what they're saying I do? Or, you know, did I actually do that? It's like gaslighting almost. Unsolicited, I heard. It's unsolicited. It's gaslighting almost. I just said that. It's repetitive, very repetitive. And it's not about you. It's not for you. It's meant for them. Very interesting. Okay. Well, what are your hopes and fears with this situation? To get unmind-fucked, probably, right? The Hanged Man. So this is, your hope is to find some kind of new perspective in this situation so that you can release this and be wiser for it. And as a fear, it's that you'll be stuck trying to go over things in your mind. If you have a Gemini North Node, Moon, you know, this is going to go deep, right? And if you're Gemini rising, I mean, it's going to go deep everywhere, but, you know, the Moon's about the emotions and whatnot. And the North Node is about going towards your path and your destiny. So if this is, you know, complicating those areas, then this is really going to be almost like an obsessive quality, energy of trying to figure yourself out or a situation or someone else. If it's a rising, then it's like you're dealing with somebody, and I never do this, by the way. I never break it down like this. So that's interesting too, because that's like a Gemini way of trying to figure out how it's working in different areas. If it's a rising, then it's very much about projection, I would say. Because the rising oftentimes, I mean, it's about more than this, but it's about how you come off in the world to other people. So you don't want to come off in this way that somebody's telling you you're coming off. And of course, if it's your son, then you're taking this as an I am, like as a like, I don't know who I am anymore because now I'm confused. I don't know. So no matter what placement you're working for, I can see it's very complicated. And I don't know why I said all that. Maybe that's helpful for you, or maybe it's a synchronicity. You know, maybe somebody's told you something like that. I heard it, maybe that's all bullshit. You know? Maybe what I just said is all bullshit to you, right? If it doesn't make sense to you, it's not for you. The moon. Right. If it doesn't make sense, cut it out. Don't try to make sense of it. If you don't have to. Page of Swords. You're trying to investigate the unknown, the illusions. Knight of Swords. Gemini, give your brain a break, please. Distract yourself. Easier said than done. I know. Okay, I know. Judgment for your outcome. This is a big lesson for you and your power and what you choose to do with that mental, communicative, intellectual, I heard graceful, power that you have. I heard superpower, okay? So this is, I heard your module. It's your module, okay? It's your module. It's like you know this module more than anybody else. And it's mercurial, right? That's why I heard mercurial. You're ruled by Mercury. We're going in retrograde soon, Gemini. That doesn't matter. I think you're fine anyways. That's not a part of this, really. And it doesn't need to be another layer on top of another layer. Simplify rather than complexify. And if you are going to complexify a situation or a narrative or whatever it is you're doing, a relationship, a breakup, communication with someone, if you are going to make it complex and multi-layered, multifaceted, know what it is where you're going with it. So that you don't have to go in as the beaver after and try to fix those little holes that you forgot. Feeling like you're running out of time. There's a much, much, much brighter light for you somewhere than this little tiny firefly light. The universe has a sun for you. There's a solar eclipse coming up, right? Or is it a lunar eclipse? I think it's a lunar eclipse. I can't remember. Check that out because we have an image here of an eclipse. This might be the time to lay the sword down, I heard. I think it's at the end of May. All right, Gemini. I hope that gave you some insight that you can rest now a little bit because you need to conserve your superpower, your intellect, your energy, your thoughts. I heard your synapses. You need to respect them by giving them a break. And again, I think one big important message in this reading is that you don't have to figure how to get out of it because you were never really in it. All right, Gemini, I love you so much. I'll see you next time.